How to play small pocket pairs. In this video, I will teach you how to play small pocket pairs. If you hold a pair from 2-2 to 8-8 in your hand, you have a small pocket pair. Although the low pair alone is not usually enough for you to win a pot, the true potential of having a pocket pair is when you make a three of a kind on the board. It's very hard for someone to beat you on the flop if you have a three of a kind. For example, if you hold 4-4 and the board reads 4-10 Jack, the only way someone can beat you is by having 10-10 or Jack-Jack. The chance of this happening is low. Also, if your opponent has a strong hand on this board, such as Ace-Jack for a top pair and top kicker, or Queen-Queen for an overpair, or 10-Jack for two pairs, he is likely to be confident enough to go all in with these hands against your three-of-a-kind fours. When an opponent goes all in against you in that scenario, here are his chances. If he has Ace-Jack, his chance of winning is 7.1%. With Queen-Queen, his chance is 14%. And lastly, with 10-Jack, he has a 16.8% chance. As you can see, you are usually in very good shape when you go all in against your opponent on the flop if you have a three of a kind. Now, before you get all excited and think that you should see every flop with a small pocket pair as a way to make a three of a kind, here are some words of caution. On the flop, you would only make a three of a kind about 12% of the time, or 1 in 8 times. When you don't make a three of a kind, you usually lose the pot. Let's have a look at an example. You hold 4-4 again. Someone raises pre-flop, and you call the raise. Both of you get to the flop betting round. However, not much luck this time, as the flop reads 2-10 Jack. You check, and your opponent does a sizable bet of about 3/4 of the pot. It's very hard for you to call this bet. Firstly, because it's possible your opponent has a 10 or a Jack for a better pair. Even if he is bluffing and has no pair, let's say he has Ace-9, there is still a 29.7% chance of him improving to a better pair, as there are 3 aces and 3 nines left in the deck. Additionally, if you call the flop bet, you will be forced to fold if your opponent bets again on the turn. Why is this so? On most turn cards, you are still pretty much in the dark about your opponent's strength, and all you have is a low pair. The following table summarizes how you match up against your opponent if you don't make a three of a kind with your small pocket pair. Against Ace-Jack, Queen-Queen, and 10-Jack, you have about an 8% chance of winning. Your best scenario is against Ace-9 for a bluff, and even so, you have just 70.3% chance of winning. Finally, against an opponent who bets on the flop and the turn, you are forced to fold most of the time, so your chance of winning is less than 10%. Overall, as you can see, if you hold a small pocket pair and you don't make a three of a kind on the flop, it usually means you will lose the pot. So, calling a raise pre-flop should be regarded as an investment, which only yields a profit 1 in 8 times. Consequently, the profit must be at least 8 times the investment to make the investment worthwhile. Since how much you can potentially win in a game of poker is limited by the amount of money you and your opponents bring to the table, your decision to call or fold to a raise pre-flop depends on this amount. I will introduce some poker terminology here. Stack size. The money a player brings to the poker table. Effective stack size. The size of the smallest stack when two players are in a pot. P. The value of the effective stack size divided by the cost of calling a raise pre-flop. In line with what I said above, that the profit must be at least 8 times the investment to make the investment worthwhile, the value of P must be at least 8 for you to make a call pre-flop with your small pocket pair. However, 8 is not enough. Firstly, when you make a 3 of a kind, you don't always get paid, since your opponent might not have much and will fold to you once you bet or raise. Secondly, being in position is a big advantage, while being out of position is a big disadvantage. Therefore, your potential return to your investment should be at least 15 times when you're in position and at least 30 times when you are out of position. To summarize, when you are in position, P should be higher than 15, and when you are out of position, P should be higher than 30 to justify a call pre-flop. The following examples will help you to understand how the rule is applied in practice. For simplification, in both the examples, the blinds are 50 cents, $1. Example 1. You are on the big blind with 6-6 and with a starting stack of $50. The cutoff has $80 and raised to $3 pre-flop. Everyone else folded to you. What should you do? Firstly, you should realize that the effective stack size here is $50 and the cost of calling here is $2. The value of P is 50 divided by 2, which equals 25. Secondly, you should realize that you are out of position versus the raiser. With P being 25, which is less than 30, you should fold your pair of 6-6 here. Example 2. You are on the button with 7-7 and with a starting stack of $98. The cutoff has $72 and raised to $4 pre-flop. What is your course of action? The effective stack here is $72 and the cost of calling here is $4. The value of P is 72 divided by 4, which equals 18. With you on the button and the raiser on the cutoff position, you are acting in position versus the raiser. With P being 18, which is greater than 15, you should call with your pair of 7-7 here.